I believe AI will go away with some jobs. Definitely, there is no two way about it. But the opportunities, the number of jobs AI will create, I'm sure will be far, far greater than the jobs AI will take away. If you are not technologically oriented, definitely AI may render you jobless. But for technologically oriented people, AI will open doors of opportunities for them. So the main question is that, are you ready to get along or not? That is why I made mention about mentorship.
Okay.
Sometimes when you mentor the student, you can change the way they think, the direction of their thinking.
It's a beautiful morning here at the Notch Studio, and I'm delighted to welcome you to another inspiring episode of the Together We Notch podcast, where we inspire you and nurture you towards becoming the best version of yourselves. I am your host today, and this morning I have a highly impactful individual, and that is Dr. Muhammed Kabir. You're welcome to Together We Notch podcasts. Our audience would like to meet you, so can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Dr. Muhammed Kabir Ahmed. I'm a senior lecturer with the Department of Computer Science, Gombe State University. I attended Gombe State University for my undergraduate studies. Then I proceeded to Usmanu Danfodiyo University for my master's degree. And I did my Ph.D. at Modibbo Adama University, Yola. I'm currently the head of ICT Park, Gombe State University. In addition to that, I'm the chairman Nigerian Computer Society, Gombe State Chapter.
Well, I'm so honored to be hosting you this morning.
Thank you.
All right. So at what point did you develop passion for technology and innovation?
I can say right from childhood. I am fortunate to be introduced to technology at the tender age. I'm lucky my dad happens to be an electrical engineer, so he introduced me to the concept of technology right from the tender age, from connecting batteries with electric bulb to constructing circuit. So I can say I grew up in the technology domain.
Excellent. So if you weren't born into a family of an electrical engineer father, would you still choose technology, or would you say that was solely the reason why you went into technology?
I think I will choose technology field.
Okay. Why is that?
Because technology moves the world. So think of life without technology. Technology has contributed so much to our lives. The way we do things, it has simplified our activities. So technology is inescapable in this modern world.
So as someone who has vast experience working with young people, you are a lecturer, and over the years, I'm sure that you've met various students. So do you think that students see technology as an opportunity for impact, or they just want to get out of, they're just looking for an easy way to make money?
I think I can say both.
Okay.
Some categories of students sees the opportunity in technology and they want to make impact, while the second category are those that think if they study technology related field, they can easily get employed. So we have these two categories, but I always cherish the first category because they have the determination, the zeal to make the impact in our society.
So you think that the second category, if they have an easier option or an alternative, you think they won't think twice before dropping the path of technology?
Yes, some of them can be, from my experience, I can say some of them, when they are mentored, they get along. But still, there are some that are just there to get to say they have a degree in computer science. They are computer science graduate. They can work anywhere. They think of the degree as an opportunity for them or a gateway for them to get employed in a high profile organization, rather than thinking how they can apply their skills and change the world.
I used to think that computer science is beyond the degree, like you need to have the skill. So is that a misconception or is it correct?
You are correct.
Okay.
I can say you are very correct. If you have the computer science degree without the skills, I think I can say the degree is almost useless, because computing is all about problem solving. So without the skills, you cannot be able to understand the problem and think of a solution to that particular problem. So skills is more important than the degree, because if you look at it, so many people got employed because of their skills rather than because of the degree, especially in a business oriented environment where the main aim of the organization is to make profit. So they go extra mile to see that they employed the right people with the required skills rather than with the required papers.
Okay. So from your experience so far, do you think that the students are imbibing that or they are still hell bent on I just want to get the degree? Because I think that you cannot walk your way out of it. If you don't have the skill, you don't have the skill. So if you went to the university or you went to the higher institution just because you want to get a computer science degree and because you want to get a job, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but maybe the most you can do is to teach the subject. That is, teach computer science, the theoretical part of computer science. You may not be able to do anything at the end of the day. So are there things that you are specifically doing to address this misconception and to redirect their path?
That is why I made mention about mentorship.
Okay.
Sometimes when you mentor the student, you can change the way they think, the direction of their thinking. For example, a number of programs have been introduced in my university to see the student getting along with the skills. For example, right now we are running a program in partnership with one of the technology firms in Gombe, which is Dopal Technology. The aim of the program is called Pitch It. The aim of the program is to mentor the student with the ideas, how they can be able to apply their skills to solve a particular problem in their immediate environment. So mentorship is one of the number one aspect. I believe it can change the narration. The student need to be mentored in order to be able to catch up with the moving trend. But if they fail to, then they will limit themselves, they will limit their opportunities, maybe to office administrative work or the teaching you made mention about. And even the teaching at secondary school, most of the proprietors of the schools now prefer to employ someone that have the prerequisite skills to be able to transform the life of this student.
Yes.
Because technology is being introduced at the early age.
Yes.
Even at the secondary school level, you will be quite impressed with the what the students are doing at that level, unlike before.
Yes. Yes, I have a real life experience of this. So I met a core member who was teaching in a public school, and he mentioned that they've started introducing them to computer programming. And then it dawned on me that just having the computer science degree would not suffice for you a few years from now, because teachers and proprietors, like you mentioned, are beginning to understand that you have to start imbibing the culture of problem solving in their children, their students from a younger age. So that's right. All right. So you made emphasis on problem solving. That's what technology is all about. So are there I want to believe, that should not even be a question to you at all. So I want to believe that there are real world problems that you have addressed with technology. So can you mention a few of them?
Yeah, I have my a technology firm I'm currently running, and the firm is about addressing our immediate environmental problems, the challenges we face in our environment. And one of the solutions we developed is flood early warning system. The system is an AI based, which has the ability to predict flood in affluent areas, to be able to so that for the government agencies concerned can be able to take the necessary decisions in order to see the risks is mitigated. So we've solved a number of problems, and one other aspect of the problem we solve is keeping alumni of our institutions connected together. We discover that in our universities, we graduated and dispersed to different sectors of the economy, different places within our country, and we are disconnected immediately when we leave the four walls of the university. So, and we have the opportunity to help ourselves if we are connected. So, the last project I managed has to do with keeping the alumni members of a particular university connected so that they can help themselves, help their university to progress together. You discover that maybe one of your mates may be fortunate enough to have opportunity to place some of you in a high profile places, but he may not be connected because you've been disconnected for a long period of time. He will not know who to contact. But when we have a platform like ours, you can easily post a job slot for your alma mater members to be able to check if they qualified, they can apply. So this is a brief about our system, and I'm sure the system will make an impact in no time.
Okay. So you talked about using AI to solve flooding problem. We know that flooding is a major challenge in most parts of Nigeria. So how is that going currently? Has it been able to predict actually and solve the problem?
Yes, we want to test it this year because we are approaching the raining season. Right now, the system is ready for adoption. So we want to test it this year, especially now that the experts are saying that the weather this year is going to be unpredictable. So we want to test our system. If the system can be able to prove them wrong, to be able to make the prediction or not. So By the special grace of God, this year we'll be able to test the system, and we are hoping our system will make an impact.
Okay. So I still want you to talk more on artificial intelligence. I know that we're in the world of AI now, and beyond ChatGPT and all these other things that we know we use for basic, because this is a major use of AI, using it, developing a system around that to track flooding. So how can we use AI more to solve real problems? And that thing of AI taking people's jobs, do you think it's true? You know, some people say, oh, AI will not take your job. AI would rather make your job better. So let's discuss that now.
Yeah, apart from AI making some jobs to be done better, I believe AI will go away with some jobs. Definitely, there is no two way about it. But the opportunities, the number of jobs AI will create, I'm sure will be far, far greater than the AI jobs AI will take away. So, but the question is that, are you ready to move in that direction or not? If you are not technologically oriented, definitely AI may render you jobless. But for technologically oriented people, AI will open doors of opportunities for them. So the main question is that, are you ready to get along or not? But definitely AI is creating a lot of opportunities. Think of the companies that are into AI, number of people they are employing. So the one thing that is important is, when you have the skills, you can be able to move along, and you will create opportunity not for yourself but for others. So that is why we need to change the way our younger ones, those in primary school, those in secondary school, we have to see that they've acquired the relevant skills. They don't necessarily have to be in computing, but once they get the required skills, they can be able to use AI in their various choosing fields. Like, for example, you can, if you have a boy have the intention of studying law, once he is equipped with the prerequisite technology knowledge, he can be able to adopt AI in his profession or career as a lawyer, and he will make an impact far, far better than those that are qualified lawyers but are not using AI. So AI is there to help our lives, to make life easy for us. But the only challenge is that you have to be able to use it effectively.
Right. So let's talk about students who complete projects and it doesn't go beyond the school environment. So what do you think is responsible for that, and how can we begin to have actual projects?
Yeah, the issue is that right now, if you look at our educational system, you are right. Many students tend to develop good project. At the end of the day, after signing the project, it will be just kept at this departmental stores and so on, and no real implementation. The system is not adopted. So that is one of the problems we identify that encourage us to come up with this program that I earlier talked about. One, some of the projects are quite good, but they cannot be implemented. One thing you ask yourself, this project, I've identified a problem. Can this project that I developed be adopted and implemented in a particular organization or not? So if your project cannot be implemented, therefore the project will be useless. So there is need to come up with a program that will mentor the student, let the student have some skills apart from the technical knowledge. Let them have the management skills, the software engineering skills that will be able to make their project be acceptable, so that it can be adopted for use. So once you have the student mentored in that direction, they've identified a problem, they solve the problem, and then understand the environment they are developing the problem for. Most of the students just sit up in their hostels, come up with the requirement without involving the real user, which is key to the project adoption. You cannot develop a project without involving the user of that project. If you are developing, let's say, an AI application that can be used in a medical domain, do you think that will be sufficient for you to sit down in your hostel and come up with the requirement? No, you have to go there, understand how they work in the hospital, the processes, the protocols, the professional ethics in the medical domain, and so on. You have to get yourself familiar with the environment first before you can develop a real solution that can be adopted. And the government to have a bigger role to play. Program like ours need to be introduced in our institutions of higher learning to be able to link the student with possible investors, link the student with the places they are developing the project for, or the establishment or the organization they are developing the project for. I'm sure our students are doing great jobs that can be adopted by some of our organizations, but we need to change the way we are doing things. The research need to go further, not just be within the university, but let's extend the research. Let's study our outside environment that we need them to adopt our system. You cannot develop a system without involving people that are going to use the system.
Yeah. Like the solution is not about you. It's not about what you think is right. It's about what they need. Because I feel sometimes when people don't do their survey, you might like it, but at the end of the day, you find out that the people you are trying to solve the problem for, that is not what they need. So like you said, you have to go beyond what's in your head or beyond staying in your room and trying to provide a solution to something that you've not even experienced yourself. And you don't even have to experience it, just have a conversation with people who are in it. And I think that before you would say that you want to solve a problem, it shouldn't just be some great idea. There should be a form of passion that you have for it. Maybe it should come from a place of pain, like, oh, this thing really bothers me and I want to do something about it. But sometimes we just want to graduate, so we just find one topic somewhere and we just present it. And I think that is why it looks like we no longer have projects that solve real problems. So we have to change our perspective. We have to change the way that we think about approaching this.
Yes, not just beyond meeting the requirement of the department, requirement of the university.
Yes. I just want to get the degree then. That's all. I'll just do whatever it takes. Okay, if a student has a strong tech idea but doesn't know where to start, what would you advise such a student to do?
First of all, I think the student should get network with the domain in which he has the idea. Then from there, the student can also participate in in some of the incubation programs to be able to equip himself with what is required. And through the incubation program, the student will be able to meet one or two mentors that will help him realize his goal.
Okay. So do you think that people overestimate how much knowledge they need to have before they start something? Or do you also belong to the school of thought to just start anyhow, start anyway? Over time, you are going to find out how to do it better?
Yes, I think by starting, you have by starting, you will ensure being in the right track. So you can start without getting the knowledge. In as much as you have the passion to learn, by starting, you will those will be open for you, where you will identify what is needed for you to be able to carry it out what you are expected to. So I believe you can starting is part of getting the knowledge, so you can start without the knowledge. Along the path, you will be able to get all the that is required as far as your ambition is concerned.
Okay. So some people say that it's easier to start, but it's more difficult to continue. So, do you think that there are mindset shifts that one needs to have so they don't get stuck, so they keep moving? Particularly if you're trying to solve a real world problem whereby you don't even have, maybe you don't have enough access to opportunities. Okay, I think that would also link me to asking about funding. Do you think that every problem, every real problem, I mean, every real solution needs money before you start, or can you maneuver your way? So, two questions now. How do you keep going even when you feel stuck? And do you need funding to address real problems?
Yeah, starting is always easier, as you said, but to continue within the cycle, you need to endure. So everyone need to endure before he can be able to succeed. So endurance is very, very important as far as executing a particular project to a logical end is concerned. You need to have faith in yourself. And the second question you asked about getting funding. Yes and no. There are projects that you can start without funding by just having a system on your own. You can host your application on there are service providers that will allow you to host your application for free and so on, so you can be able to start without having the required fund. And there are some projects that are highly capital intensive. You need someone to fund your idea, especially as a young chap. You may not have the resources to execute that particular project, but for someone to have confidence in you and be able to invest, you must show that person some level of commitment. What do you have on ground? What do you need? So the idea first, the solution or the prototype of the solution, someone have to see it before he can have confidence in you that really this one can be able to achieve this and that. So if I invest in him, at least we are all going to smile at the end of the day. So even the project that require funding, you can start it, you can build a prototype to be able to get the funding. But without starting, I don't think you'll be able to get funding. Nobody will take you serious. So whether it requires resources or not, you must start something. You must have something to present.
Great. So, do you think that in Africa, do you think we are just focused on global trends, or do you think that we are really doing something when it comes to innovation and technology?
Yes, as far as Africa or technology in Africa is concerned, I believe we are moving in the right direction. If you look at Nigeria and some African countries, you discover that one of the key sectors in which we've made a significant progress is the IT world. Think of Nigeria, for example. One of the most successful sectors we have in this country that is effectively managed and the institutions can compete globally is the banking sector. Without the technology, the success recorded in the banking sector cannot be achieved. They
Yes.
cannot be able to compete with their global peers without the technology. And if you look at the IT have contributed a lot to the banking sector, and the solutions that are developed locally are making an impact. So I believe Nigeria and Africa are going in the right direction, but a lot need to be done.
Yeah. Okay, you cited the banking sector as one area that technology has really helped to grow in Nigeria. So why do you think that it can also work in, say, the healthcare sector, agri, and how do you think that people can take advantage of technology to improve other areas? Do you think that if other sectors begin to leverage on technology, do you think that they would also be able to record the amount of growth that the banking sector has been able to record so far?
Yes, of course. Of course, because if you look at the level of adoption of technology in the health agriculture cannot be compared to that of the banking sector.
But why is it so?
Yeah, because maybe the banking gurus identify the opportunity and utilize it effectively. So other sectors need to learn from them. So I believe our healthcare can be improved if technology is fully incorporated into it. For example, the AI can play a vital role in medical diagnosis. Most of the challenges we have in this country as far as healthcare sector is concerned is regarding the diagnosis. You'll hear many patients complaining that they've been going to this hospital in Nigeria, they could not even identify the ailment they have until when they live for abroad, and as soon as they reach there, within no time they were able to trace, this is the disease you are suffering from. Or sometimes wrong diagnosis. Someone may be suffering from diabetes. There is one person I know, he's when he went to the hospital in Nigeria, they told him that he has kidney problem. So he has been treating the kidney ailment, no any sign of progress. So he decided to travel to Egypt. Upon reaching there, they told him that no, your kidneys are functioning well. Your problem is diabetes. So this wrong diagnosis, if we embrace technology in our healthcare, especially in the area of medical diagnosis, I believe a lot can be achieved. Such errors during diagnosis can be avoided to some high level precision.
Okay, so do you think this is a technology problem, or yes, agreed, but don't you think that the healthcare practitioners are also not trained enough? Because how can you give a wrong diagnosis, or is it that the symptoms are similar and they still need technology to prove the actual thing?
If you say they lack the prerequisite knowledge, why is it that when they left for abroad, they got employed? So I believe even if the training, I may agree with you, the training may not be up to what is in the developed countries, quite all right. But Nigerians, if we look at it, Nigerians are intelligent people. So with the little they get, they can be able to offer so much. So one thing I see as the problem is not only about the medical expertise, but the equipment we are using in the country. So you can not compare the equipment we are using in Nigeria with the one used in US, used in UK, and so on. So they are using highly sophisticated equipment which help in the area I mentioned, the medical diagnosis. So, and they for long embraced technology as part of the aiding tools used in diagnosis as well as other medical activities. So I believe even this the knowledge may not be up to what is being gained in the developed countries, but still, if Nigerians can be able to get the equipment and the required training to use these sophisticated equipment, I believe they can be able to compete with their peers all over the world.
Okay, I have a question regarding exposure to technology at an early age. How early do you think that children should be exposed to technology so it doesn't become a distraction?
Yes, I think technology can be introduced to our student at the primary school age, and technology can be a disruption, as you said, but since these children are under the care of their parent at home and under the care of their teachers at home, I believe we can develop a policy framework to regulate these activities to ensure that these children does not get distracted. They use the technology when they need be, and they face their book when it is time to read. So the idea is that there is nothing wrong in introducing the student to technology at the early stage, but let the student be regulated. Let the children be regulated at home by their parents. Let the children be regulated in school by their teachers. And the government need to come in. If you look at the way AI and technology is taking its ways in our lives, so there is need for proper policy framework to be developed as regard to the use of this AI and other technology, not for children but for individuals as well.
Right. Right. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing out of the depth of your knowledge and experience. It's such a pleasure having you on the show this morning.
You are welcome.
Okay. And so is there anything else that interests you outside of technology? Maybe like a hobby or something you just do for fun, maybe? Not.
Traveling.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love traveling a lot.
Okay. That's not surprising. Like they say that traveling is also part of learning.
Of course, when you travel you learn.
Okay, and is that also the reason why, because you said you did your undergraduate studies in Gombe State University, right? Okay, then your master's was at Sokoto, and then your PhD was elsewhere.
Yeah.
So do you like to explore? You like to be is there a reason for that?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So I decided to travel to the extreme western part of the country for the masters, and I gain a lot. I network with people. So wherever you go, you will meet people, you will learn about their culture and so on. So it is quite interesting when you travel.
Actually, yeah. So you don't keep yourself boxed in a particular
No.
location. Spread your tent, go out there, meet
and
more
get
people,
network, of course.
and their culture and all of that. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, once again for coming here.
You are welcome.
Thank you. Until next time, please keep following us on our social media handles and watch the previous episodes of the Together We Notch podcast. I can assure you that there's so much to learn. Until next time, keep improving yourself and bye.